T-Dog, J-Boy, and me, I'm Lugs. Our pride and joy is pumping our mugs. Be careful, kids, it could get rough. We're flipping our lids on sports and other stuff.
Welcome to Sport Weasel Central. I'm Lugs.
I'm J-Boy.
And I'm T-Dog.
Yes, this is Sports and Other Stuff, rated number 1 in Packerland. Headlines: Cam is now a Patriot. Redskins days are numbered, and change that MLB trophy. Cam Newton says, "This is not about money for me, it's about respect." Newton, who has made more than $100 million in his 10-year career, reportedly guaranteed just $500,000 as part of his one-year deal with the Patriots. His base salary will be a little over $1 million, which is the minimum for a player with his experience. Cam, who's 31, can earn an additional $6.5 million in bonuses. I think we saw this coming. Lugs? See what I mean? Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. But Cam being Cam, I don't know if you saw the tweets. He said he was tired of being humble and that he's a killer, he's a monster, he's a dog. So I don't know how far he's going to get with the hoodie system, because the hoodie likes you to keep a lid on it. So we'll see. I think he has a talent, and he probably should be pretty healthy at this point. I mean, he hadn't really played in a long time. So I like the idea. I mean, if they can keep him socially in line, let's say, they should be fine on the field.
Kind of to echo some of the points Lugs has. He had a severe shoulder injury in 2018 and a Liz Frank injury last year that derailed him. So he's been able to heal, hopefully, for the last 2 years. I mean, I could see why he lasted a while, just because obviously during COVID, no one could really look at him. And his style of play, while he is a supremely successful quarterback, with the style in which they want quarterbacks to play, it's unorthodox to a degree. I mean, for his career, he didn't complete 6% of his passes. So, but he should have. I mean, he should have been picked up. I mean, you look at some of the starters in the NFL. It's crazy that it took till June for him to be picked up.
Do you think that they know something medically?
I think it was a few things. I think there was, obviously there were restrictions were lifted in terms of travel, so they were able to actually get him looked at. And they talked. There have been reports they talked to a lot of people. North Turner, I guess, gave him a big endorsement saying like he's right. If you go back a few years when Josh McDaniels was the head coach of the Denver Broncos, they drafted Tim Tebow because he was enamored with Tim Tebow. Now, obviously, Cam Newton is in another stratosphere in terms of ability as an NFL quarterback than Tim Tebow. Like, he is, if Tebow was bitten by a radioactive spider and actually could throw the ball. Like, so.
Say what?
Josh McDaniels should be happy.
Well, I think you're both wrong, because here's the chant coming from Gillette Stadium. MVP. There's going to be an MVP in New England, and it's not Tom Brady.
I kind of doubt that.
Oh, come on. Have a little heart, will you? Come on.
I think, well, I'll say this. It'll be exciting. It'll be, definitely one of the big winners in this is not only, I think, New England, not only Cam Newton, but also if the season goes out without a hitch, which I don't know will happen, but like us as viewers, because they had like 5 primetime games, it's going to be Jarrett Stidham. I mean, they got Cam Newton's going to be out there. So that, and at least that way we ended up ahead. So
Well, and they should dominate that division. I mean, let's be honest. We could put Lou City soccer players in that division, and they'd probably come out on top.
I think. I mean, I don't have the Vegas odds. Obviously, they've definitely upgraded, but to say that they're that much better than Buffalo, I still don't think you can give them over Buffalo. And Miami was very plucky down the stretch, and they're going to be in year 2 of Brian Flores' system. They have better talent around them too. So, I mean, they actually have 2 running backs. Think about this: their leading running attack last year for Miami Dolphins was Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I'm not going to say Jordan Howard's going to be the Jordan Howard of the early days of Chicago, but he's going to be good. And Matt Breida is a change-up or possibly the starter. I mean, he was a freak athlete. He averaged 5 yards, I think, a carry for the 2 years he mainly played for 49ers the last 2 years. So,
well, I'm going to have to make that wild-ass prediction. Cam Newton will have more running yards than those 2 combined.
Oh.
Hey, let me say this about that. Nothing beats a good burrito. Do you know what I'm saying?
Man. Is that a chicken burrito?
That's a fajita or a flauta. What is that? Yeah, but anyway.
But I like it.
Lou City soccer players. Let's go back to that for a second. Lou City soccer players. Are you serious?
Yeah.
On the pitch?
Oh,
yeah, baby.
Come on. Yeah. Come on, Lugs. I mean, no. It's now look, if you want to like bash on the Jets, okay, that's fine. I still think they're a mess. They got better.
Gase.
Well, speaking of the Jets, it's make or break for Sam Darnold. I'm tired of the excuses. Show up, take this team somewhere.
Take this team and shove it.
I'm not disagreeing with you completely, but I think he has a great solid out. He's like Adam Gase. Like, what has Adam Gase ever done as a head coach? So,
yeah, but you gotta. I mean, you've seen guys on bad teams still show up. Sam Darnold is yet to really kick it. I think he has talent. I think he has skill, but he's yet to really kick it.
Well, I'm just saying last year was a big L for Adam Gase. I'm not saying you can't turn around. I'm just saying you look at what Ryan Tannehill did with the Tennessee Titans. He played well at portions for Miami, but Ryan Tannehill was the best version of Ryan Tannehill away from Adam Gase. And then a guy he never fully believed in Kenyon Drake, he goes to Arizona as their running back, and he explodes. So,
yeah. He's a guy that can't match talent with format,
And again, keeping it to the local product, a guy who was up until this point, and think about it, this is year 5 of him in the year, who was an underperformer. All of a sudden, he's out of the he's left. Adam Gase left, and all of a sudden, Devontae Parker explodes.
Yeah.
So.
Well.
All right, second topic. Let's move on, shall we? The NFL's Redskins are once again facing public pressure for their name. But it looks like this time there might be a change. Longtime owner Dan Snyder said last week the team would be conducting a thorough review of the name. In 2013, here's what Snyder said. We'll never change that name. It's that simple. Never. In 2020, he said the team will undergo a review of the name. So, gentlemen, what should the new name be? Let's be the first to pick it. A sports and other stuff exclusive. What do you think?
Well, I would say I would throw out a couple. I mean, they've got to go with something really bland, yet sounds almost patriotic. I'd say Generals, maybe call it the Veterans.
Oh, I like that.
Something like that. But I go back. The push on this came from FedEx, from Nike.
Right.
Nike pulled all the merchandise. FedEx is talking about dropping. So it's going to be dollars and cents. That's what it came down to. It's not dollars and sentiment. It's dollars and cents.
Agreed. Yeah, no doubt about it. Pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely not a case of that Daniel Snyder had a change of heart. It's that they were hitting him in his pocketbook.
Exactly.
FedEx, I believe, pays $200 million to the Washington for the naming rights to their arena. And I believe the third minority owner is one of the higher ups in FedEx. So it's not that they don't have people inside the building who have some sway. It's kind of funny. J-Boy brought up the one quote he said, and I think he maybe left out, maybe did it another time where he said never, and he says you can put that in caps.
He did, yeah.
To a major publication. It's just, and then for him to swing this far the other way just shows you how far. I will say, and going to I forget if it was J-Boy's or Lug's point, I think they will go an ambiguous way, and this is going back a few years.
Bring it.
The Bravehearts.
Wow.
Huh.
Bravehearts.
I believe it was, I'm probably going to get the year wrong. I believe in 2013, a guy who's like a neighbor of Daniel Snyder, who said he had it for entertainment value, bought or trademarked the Washington Bravehearts. Now, why this guy would do that without any other means, it doesn't make any sense. It felt like this guy was some kind of like shell corporation to create a name in case the hammer came down earlier than it has, and saying you have to change the name. So I'll go with the Washington Bravehearts.
What's that crazy fanatic group they have there at their stadium? What's that?
Oh, the Hogs.
Oh, the Hogs. Okay, so will the Hogs become these like Scottish guys and all wear kilts in that area of the stadium?
Maybe so. Yeah.
For Bravehearts? We will not go down.
I do like at least the use of Brave, because they were originally the Boston Braves and then moved to Washington and changed the name. So like it does kind of go back to some history. But I don't know.
It's one of those things. And also, so we're in this name changing mode, and they're already talking Cleveland Indians, of course, have been for a long time. But what about the Chiefs? The Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium, they do the Tommy Hawk, chop.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody's talking about them.
So I would suspect that they're soon to be talked about at least. But, you know, with Patrick Mahomes becoming the $500 million man, maybe that has some effect on that.
I think the reason why they're so far down the pecking order is just what is a position in terms of, I guess, Native American culture. Another one is a derogatory term for Native Americans. I mean, that's the huge, vast gap in between. And just, you know, the one good thing to come out of this, besides them finally getting rid of the name, is all the just kind of like yes men for Daniel Snyder, like Chris Cooley, and being like, oh, there's certain Native Americans that like it and embrace it. It's like, all right, well, you probably paid them off or something. It's like
they're on the payroll.
Yeah, like let's just get rid of this whole bunch of hullabaloo.
Well, and didn't Florida State come to an agreement with the Seminole Nation that it's okay?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Another one would be your Fighting Illini of Illinois, and on and on and on. Cleveland
most
Indians.
Folks probably don't know that Illini would have an Indian reference.
Yeah.
They would think it was a shortened form of Illinois.
Or misspelled.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, that. But, you know, Ron Rivera has a large input in this because they don't have a GM or a president at this point. So part of that responsibility falls on Rivera. I don't know how he must feel about that since he's a first-year coach, but he is always saying that we need to change the culture. Well, I think they could drastically change the culture by finding a name that's not offensive to somebody.
Oh, he's all for the change from what I read. He wants a change.
I mean, it's a great opportunity for a head coach that usually doesn't happen, but also you think about like how messed up this offseason is. He hasn't got to meet with any of his players. Like they're going to meet, you know, later for the first time. They're going to be behind. There's probably going to be more injuries than regular for a season because guys haven't going to be able to properly train or whatnot. And on top of this man has to like go to board meetings, possibly like, hey, what's a good name? All right, now let's come up with the logos. Like, I don't have time for this crap. I got enough on my plate.
And they're saying they want it done before